This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
And they do a lot of things well. They got a lot of really good football players. They can win and beat you in a lot of different ways. They're physical. They're explosive in all three phases. We saw that on Monday night, how they ended up kind of flipping the game around there. And Sunday Night Football, Allegiant Stadium, excited for our fan base. I know our guys are fired up for this opportunity, and we're looking forward to get out there on the practice field.
The Steelers organization is one that, when you look at the longevity of how they keep things together, fix problems within, don't go freaking out and blowing things up, draft and develop, kind of dabble in free agency a little bit, but mostly it's from within. When you look at the Steelers, and I know you guys have played them a lot of times in New England, is that sort of what the kind of organization that you're aspiring for here?
We all want to try to create, the kind of culture and team and organization that is competitive year in and year out to compete for championships. And, you have to earn that. And so, we're still hard at work at that, and they've earned it, and Coach Tomlin, obviously, what he's done, the organization, Omar, their whole crew, they've done it the right way for a long time. They believe in what they're doing, and the results have bared that true, and so for us, we're in the process of trying to get to that point, and again, you only earn it one way, and you got to have consistent success, and you got to compete and be competitive to win and win at a high level year in and year out. And I think they've shown that, and that's what we're working towards.
You said that the film would bear out what your thoughts were coming off the Buffalo game, basically that the answers are there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the team got the message, and do you feel like things are a little closer, especially offensively, than what they may have appeared by the score?
Yeah, the score is, games, NFL games, always can be flipped around in 5 or 6 plays. I'm not saying that was the only, thing we needed to have happen. But we learned from each game we've participated in this year. And, again, some lessons are harder to learn than others, and we needed to learn them. And the biggest thing is it's a long season. There's a lot of lessons. You can learn them when you win. You can learn them when you lose. But the most important thing is that you learn them. And so, we're going to find out if we've learned from some of those mistakes that we saw and tried to correct. I think the attitude has been phenomenal. The response has been great. I would never question that from our team anyway. So eager to get out there in the practice field and continue to try to improve.
So it's not more important, you always want to get a win no matter what. It's not more important to get a win this week because of what happened in Buffalo to move on from it?
We try to win every week. If I came in here and said that, then what would that mean for next week? You know what I mean? Like, we can let our guard down and not try as hard or anything like that. So, I respect I understand the question. I just, we try to win every week. We do everything we can. The players do put as much time as they can possibly put in. The coach, the same thing. So, we're going to try to compete and win every week. So I don't want to make one game bigger than the next because, it kind of has a up and down effect on the season.
Josh, what grabbed your attention most from Pittsburgh's win on Monday night?
They play with such a great effort, regardless of the circumstances in the game. And so, Cleveland obviously, they outgained them. I think Cleveland had 80-some plays they ran offensively, and Pittsburgh had 50-some. But you wouldn't. You're watching the game and you're seeing it, and I'm watched all 3 phases, and you're just the effort and the tenacity and, just every play they're trying to do the right things to flip the game. And ultimately they did, and this is the kind of team that, it could be in the return game. It could be on defense. It could be with the pass rush. It could be with a blitz. It could be with a big play to Pickens or Austin or Freiermuth or Najee Harris. They have a lot of different ways that they could create explosive plays and turn games. And, just so happened the other day they scored 2 defensive touchdowns, and Watt and Highsmith. I mean, it wouldn't, those are two fitting guys, because they're great players, and so there's a challenge on every play, and you can't let your guard down. You can't stop competing and playing with great effort because you know that that's what they're going to do every single play that they're out there, and that's the challenge for us on Sunday night, and we're going to be ready to go.
I know they have 11 guys out there all the time, but as a play caller, how much of a challenge is it to just know where Watt is and not let him destroy what you want him to do? And I guess you guys have one as well in Max that's kind of similar. So how does that kind of help in the preparation?
Yeah, I mean, great players demand, obviously a lot of attention. You're aware they got more than one, I would say that. Let's start with, they have a lot of guys, on that side of the ball that do a really good job. I mean, Minka's, had as many interceptions as any safety in the league since he's been in the league, and Patrick Peterson's still doing it at a high level. Both of the edge rushers, they got interior guys that create problems for you. So, I mean, it's, their whole defense, they play really well as a unit. Knowing where they're at isn't always the problem. It's more the execution of it and the detail that you play with and the effort, and toughness. So, we're going to, that's what's going to be demanded Sunday night. So we're going to need to play like that, and in every phase on every play.
Jacoby Myers.
He'll be out there today, moving through the protocol the right way. So, again, nothing, we can't declare anything right now, but he'll be out on the practice field today.
We've asked you repeatedly about Chandler, and it's a private situation. We understand that. But at what point, the roster spot is a very valuable thing, obviously, in the NFL. At what point does that potentially become an issue? Do you have to do something?
There's nothing, I can't do anything about it at this point. So, we're just, we're respecting that process and understand the situation, and that's really all I can say about it.
Robert, coming over from Pittsburgh, last year, what did you see kind of from him on film with the Steelers that you knew he'd be ready for an expanded role here, and how has he embraced that, and what kind of impact has he had?
Yeah. I mean, obviously being voted a captain speaks a lot about Robert, and just the way he approaches his job every day. Physical guy, loves football, every aspect of it. Incredibly tough, durable. He played in a system, in a defense that, that's what they value, that's what we value. And so, there's some carryover there, in that regard. And just watching him play and playing against him, competing against him. We competed against him last year, late in the season. Had an opportunity to see that firsthand, just his physicality, his toughness, his intelligence. Passion for football, the way he plays and competes on every play. They asked a lot of him, and so do we. So, fortunate we have him on our team. Excited to continue to grow with him, and obviously our team feels the same way about him.
It's like he can provide, or is it because it's just a different team now? That's not much there. He was there.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's information that any team has the opportunity to do that if you have a player that might have played somewhere else before. I mean, that honestly, I'm not sure that there's many games that we play in that we don't have some carryover or somebody that has some familiarity with that. So, you do the best you can, but obviously it's you take it with a grain of salt because they can do whatever they want to do this week, and I'm sure that they will, whatever they think they need to do to win.
How much did playing that game against them late in the season kind of, I guess, aid in the and you've already kind of studied them very recently?
Yeah, I mean, each year's different. Our team's different now than it was last year. Their team's different too. So, that happens, every year. And you look back on it, you do your due diligence, you understand the way we played the game, the way they played the game. The conditions obviously were, I would say, significantly different than what they're going to be on Sunday night. So, we did our work. I'm sure they looked at it as well. So, I don't think anybody has an advantage in that regard. Good to go? Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
You've been watching Breaking News from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.